I'm sorry. I got to talk about it. I got to talk about it, man. I mean, as many of you know, many of you have listened to me for many, many years on the Two Live Stews for a very, very long time. The first couple of years of this show, many of you know, you've heard the story that I was actually an original member of New Edition. Shut up. I was. And so far, in watching the show last night, and I'm sure it got big numbers because everybody and their mama was talking about it on my timeline on social media, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and we're brought to you by firefan.com. But some very interesting things came out. Now, I was a part of the group for about 2 days. So a lot of this stuff, even I didn't know. You know, once again, even though I was a founding member of the group. But it was very interesting stuff, man. Very cool in how they did it. I like how they had I like the characters. A lot of the characters that they have in it playing these roles, man, are people that we've seen before. The little dude that's on Empire is kind of like the middle-aged, late teenager. Michael Bivins. What else? Oh, I thought it was cool how you saw the very beginning and how actually I didn't notice myself. I didn't know that Bobby Brown actually is the one that officially started the group. That's strange to hear. Crazy acting self. Right. I thought it was interesting to see that Bobby Brown, the most volatile of the whole group, was the guy that actually started the group. I thought that was pretty cool. I also thought that the guy that played Bobby Brown, the little boy that played Bobby Brown, that got to be Bobby Brown's nephew or second cousin or something like that. Right. Great casting. And the story was very, very cool. They had my man Avon from The Wire. Avon Barksdale as their original manager. He did a good job. I thought that was cool. So it's 3 nights, 2 hours each night. I'm assuming tonight's going to be 2 hours as well, and then tomorrow night it'll be 2 hours as well, man. But it's on BET. I think it started at 9 p.m. If you grew up during my era, man, you just get a kick out of seeing that type of stuff, man. And kind of like an origin story of one of the most heralded groups in history, in music history. Their rise to the top, their fall from grace and all of that type stuff with that type of movie, man. So it was good stuff. You need to check it out. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Y'all got jokes in the chat room already. Y'all got jokes in the chat room already about these guys. One thing I will say is that I found it kind of interesting. And it's a biography. So I'm not spoiling none of it when I say these things, okay? It's a biography. You should know most of this stuff, all right? It's kind of like, history. Michael Bivins, it was very interesting to me that they kept pressing upon how good of a basketball player Michael Bivins was. Now, I'm not saying Michael Bivins couldn't have been another Muggsy Bogues. Michael Bivins is every bit of 5'3", maybe 5'4", 5'5", or something like that, man. He might have crazy, crazy handles, but they made it like Michael Bivins was going to be the next Magic Johnson or something like that, and that probably wasn't going to be the case. Shouts out to New Edition, man, my crew, man. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. We are, once again, about a week and a half away from Super Bowl 51. If you haven't heard, the Falcons are in the game. Yeah. The Falcons are in the game, man. Very interesting article by Bucky Brooks. Bucky Brooks played in the NFL for many, many years. I'm going to say maybe like 8, 9, 10 years or something like that, man. Defensive back. And he now works as a media analyst for NFL.com. I think he also writes for Sports Illustrated or whatever, man. Very good article that he wrote and giving a 5-part plan for the Atlanta Falcons to win it all. I want to get into that and what he had to say. Real good stuff. We'll talk about that, man. But, I mean, I think that, once again, in looking at the coverage and the media take on this Super Bowl, man, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a very good one. And in years past, a lot of times when the Patriots played in the Super Bowl, it was, for the most part, they'd write off their competition. Oh, the Patriots are going to be dominant. Once again, you can go back and look at the lines from the past Super Bowls that the Patriots have been in. And I don't think that you can ever remember or you'll ever find a line as low as 3 points that you have in this game. So it's interesting to me because the Falcons, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the Falcons are one of those teams that historically has never gotten respect. The team, the organization, the players, Mike Wilbon, a lot of these national guys, man, they rail on the Atlanta Falcons and their fans and the city and how the city's fans are very apathetic and they really don't, pay a lot of attention to the sports teams, which is not the case, which is a goddamn lie. Which is a lie. All right? I talk about this all the time. If your product sucks, people won't pay, for the most part. Now, there's some places where they get a kick out of that, like in Boston, they're the exception to the rule, where they're just these big, crazy, fanatical Boston Red Sox fans. So no matter what, since 19, or Chicago as well, the Chicago Cubs. Since 1918, the Cubs hadn't won a World Series, but they have, nationally known as one of the best fan bases ever. But for the most part, for the rest of sports here in this country, if your product sucks, if your team sucks, if your player sucks, if y'all keep drafting players that turn out to be busts, nobody gonna support that shit. So that's what it's about. Since I've been here, and I've been here for over 20 years, if the team is good, if the team is thriving, fans go out and support it. This city is kind of fickle and it is kind of starstruck, and we, I think we thrive on having a star. Very materialistic in a lot of ways. ATL, everybody's in the music business, everybody's in the movie business. Everybody got some type of hustle, and there's a very affluent population here, especially affluent black population. But if the product's good, people will come and show out for it. So there's always this narrative of Atlanta sports fans not being great, which is absolute BS once again. And there's always this narrative of Atlanta sports teams aren't winners. I think the only team that has a championship is the Atlanta Braves. Should have had many, many more, but they have won World Series championships. The Hawks don't have a championship since they've been in Atlanta. I think they do when they were in St. Louis, but they don't since they've been in Atlanta. For the most part, the Hawks don't make it out the second round. The Atlanta Falcons have only been to the Super Bowl once in their tenure here in the city. I think this is the fourth time that they've been. This past NFC championship was the fourth time that they've done that in their team's history. And they've been around for 51 years. So you kind of get it, but I think it's too much. But this time around, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, for this year's Super Bowl, I don't think that across the board people are disrespecting the Falcons. Like, everybody to a man thinks that they got a real shot to win this thing. It's just not going to be one of those situations where they get rolled over. The best example of that I can think of, man, is the Super Bowl between the San Francisco 49ers and the San Diego Chargers, where Steve Young and the 49ers just rolled, dominated. I don't think anybody thinks it's going to be that, man. I think most experts, quote, unquote, experts, thinks that the Falcons have a real shot to win this game. And it's very, very good to see and to hear the great talk about my city and about the Atlanta Falcons, man. I am so excited about this game. I am so excited about this game. I can't wait. I cannot wait, man. I'm excited about this game. I've talked to a lot of people, man, that are excited about this game. Once again, I mentioned that I'm hosting one of the biggest Super Bowl parties here in Atlanta, Georgia, man. PKK Chapter 5, Kappa Kappa Chapter, man. They're expecting over 1,000 people, man, at the the Georgia Freight Depot. It's going to be a real good look. I can tell you a little bit later how you can get tickets online, man. It's going to be crazy, man. The city is abuzz right now. They tried to push for something. The mayor, Kasim Reed, somebody had an idea about, watching the Super Bowl in the Georgia Dome, like opening up the Georgia Dome for one last time. The NFL quickly said, oh, hell to the no, we got to make our money. Yeah, the NFL said hell to the no. I mean, you can't do anything like that. You can't open up the Georgia Dome for, 60, 70,000 people or whatever it is. We want you to pay for, your ticket to come to Houston. We want you to pay a $5,000 premium fee to get a ticket as well. And we want to make sure that you're subscribed to your local cable network so that you can watch the TV or the show on in the game on TV. So you can't open the Georgia Dome. But outside of that, man, spirits are very, very high about this team, man. And I think most people around here, once again, think that the Falcons got a chance, man. They got a chance. They got a chance. They got a chance. And it's very refreshing. It's very refreshing because we're not used to this. We're not used to being, talked about in this light. This city, sports-wise, once again, is usually not talked about in this manner. So it's very, very refreshing, I must say. It's very refreshing. It's incredible. God damn, T-Dub. Woo-wee! Man. All right, we're about to go to a break, but man, T-Dub, man, the Stewie's doing their damn thing in the chat room, man, with these profile pics. Yes, sir! Thank you, T-Line, Steppin' Dub. Wow. Redbone, too. Mammary glands. Oh, thank you, T-Dub. Oh, man. Even my man Vince Wright, X-Squad, is contributing, man. I hope Angie, the first lady, ain't in the chat room. Thank you, Vince. Wow. Right now, T-Line Steppin' Dub is he's killing them right now. He's number one in this imaginary contest of who got the best profile pic on a Woman Wednesday. Yeah. All right, when we get back from the break, man, let's get into this little story I was talking to you about what it's going to take, or one person's opinion, one former NFL player's opinion, now turned a writer's opinion on what it's going to take for the Falcons to come away with a victory in Super Bowl LI. Don't go away. Coming back in 3 minutes. This is the Doug Stewart Show.
Please, here's to another year. Now do you believe? Lost some friends and some family we love. Don't let it get you down tonight, but then we raise it up. Hands in the air like you trying to touch the ceiling. Champagne for everyone, tonight we got the feeling. Made it through the holidays, now we back to hustling. Family versus finance, getting tired of juggling. Ain't better than nobody, I just went and climbed the ladder. So hi buddies, haters, it just sound like chitter chatter. Staring at the calendar, tired of being amateur. Looking in the mirror, time to face the biggest challenger. Life is crazy, ain't no telling when it all stops. Do it now, don't wait until the ball drops. Nothing is promised, don't nobody owe you nothing. December 31st, better go and get you something.
chance for